What's up, everybody? This is your girl Martine Myers coming in for a uterine fibroid testimonial. This has been on my mind for a while, and my God and ancestors basically have been telling me that I need to put out this testimony to give some inspiration, motivation, encouragement to those who are suffering, those who are basically going through fibroids or any other women related issues, and those who feel like they're suffering so much and it's like almost the end of the world. I'm here to tell you guys that what you're going through, what your mind is going through, what your body is going through, and what everything that you're facing, basically, let's put it like this, it's all an illusion. Because one thing I've learned from the beginning of my journey, when I went for my fibroid surgery in 2016, November 2016, and after my open myomectomy, I came to realize that this fibroid journey is not just a medical issue. It really isn't. It is not just a medical issue. It is primarily more like a spiritual journey that you're put on. And the spiritual journey is a journey called self-love. It's basically a self-love journey. And when we say self-love, we're not only talking about ourselves only. We're talking about loving ourselves first, but through loving ourselves, the beauty that we find in loving other people. And where we're talking about loving other people, we're talking about loving other people naturally, unconditionally, and finding the beauty that everyone has within them, the gift that everyone has within them, being able to see, experience, and appreciate the blessing within other people is what I've learned through my journey with fibroids and going through the pain and agony to begin with, finding a solution and going through my surgery, and then looking for ways to continue my healing process to be sure that fibroids do not grow back. It's all about self-love. It's all about self-love. It's all about how I feel about myself. And because I'm so committed to me, I'm so committed to myself, I'm so committed to my life, I'm so committed to staying alive, I'm so committed to improving me, myself, and I. That is what allowed me to reach where I am today. That is what allowed me to move forward, break down those barriers that I've been facing for a very long time. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Martine Myers, preferably known as author Martine Myers online. I'm the author of Faces of Uterine Fibroids. It's an award-winning masterpiece that I wrote and in correlation with other women who have been suffering with fibroids. My journey with fibroids is a 21 years of pain and agony, and I decided to bring my story out to allow people to know that if I made it through where I am today, I know other women could make it through as well. Now, the journey is 21 years of what I suffered. However, in November 2016, right after my surgery, I embarked on a new journey, and the journey was the journey to healing. And that journey to healing basically was an eye-opener for me, because I got to learn about myself. I got to learn about the people around me. I got to learn about relationships. I got to learn about connection. I got to learn about the spiritual side of who I am, you know. And I really got to connect with my inner self. And that is a part of me that was not present back then. That is a part of me that I was totally unaware of. That is a part of me that I was not comfortable with, because that is not something that I was taught. You know, that is not something that I learned. It's something that I adapted to based on what I was facing in my life. I fell into this category where I was seeking for a better me. I was seeking for a better version of me. And this is how I ended up on the path of self-love. Now, in order for me to have moved on and survived my whole fibroid journey going into my healing, I had to be sure that I had to make a decision. And that decision sometimes could be very selfish. That decision is to make sure that it's all about me. It's all about me, myself, and I. It's all about my health. It's all about making myself be happy, making myself feel better, and also making myself more comfortable with who I am and the things that I have to face on a daily basis. It's not an easy journey, because when you make those decisions on the me, myself, and I, notice I said me, myself, and I didn't say me and anyone else. It's not you and your parents. It's me, myself, and I, literally. And that means that you have to make decisions that are going to make you happy. Sometimes those decisions do not make the other people around you happy, especially the closest one. But the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, you have to bring happiness to yourself. You're the only one who can do that for you. And that's part of what self-love is all about, you know. Within my journey, I also embarked on coaching. I became a vision board coach, which I love very, very much. And the reason why I chose becoming a certified vision board coach was because it had to do with visualization at a higher level. It had to do with envisioning at a higher level. You know, when you hear vision boards, you always think about pictures, a collage of pictures. You just put them together on a board and that's it. You know, it's not necessarily that way. You could create a vision board on your mind with words. You could create a vision board on your mind with pictures. You could create a vision board based on theme, based on so many different criteria. Within my self-love journey, I've created so many different vision boards with so many different themes. I mean, I have one for love, one for connection, one for relationship, one for money, one for success, you know, one for social media, and trust and believe. They have all come into fruition one way or the other. And those are the things that actually have kept me occupied within my self-love journey post fibroids, basically. I've done a lot of reading, which helped me ground myself. And I'm accustomed to reading a whole lot of affirmations. I'm accustomed to writing in my journal, writing affirmations on a daily basis, because it is imperative to keep myself centered, to keep myself grounded, to keep myself focused on me, myself, and I. Now, the beauty of reading affirmations, writing affirmations, having a journal, and focusing on me, myself, and I is that once you start to perfect the me, myself, and I self-love journey type thing, you start to really open doors to other connections and the love that you attract to you. So with that being said, you open doors for relationships, connections, love relationships, all types of different connections, and the truth comes out through on that journey, all throughout that journey. Now, the thing about the fibroids is that I never realized that those were direct blockages of fear of what I was actually birthing within me. It was blockages of ideas, blockages of sight, visions, dreams, a lot of different blockages. And I came to realize through my self-love journey, going through my whole healing process, that the actual fibroids, the tumors in my uterus, were blockages based on imbalances in my body. And once I learned about that something was off within my body, it was very easy for me to adapt to the fact that I need to find a solution. I need to find a better way for me to live my life. Whereas on a self-love journey, you cannot be on a self-love journey and eat junk food. You cannot be on a self-love journey and, put in bad stuff into your system. It just doesn't work. That's an imbalance within itself. So many of you guys on this fibroid journey or any other women health related issue that you do have, you may find yourself on a path where you are either forced or you are given the vision to remove a few things out of your life. Like for me, I had to remove sugar from my life because everything I consumed had some form of sugar in it or turned into sugar, which then created excess estrogen in my system that then created a total imbalance in my mind, body, and soul. So that's how the breakdown was, and that's was the disruption in my body, and that was also how I was not functioning well as a woman. Everything was just out of whack. And I'm explaining all of this to you guys for you to really get a gist of what the whole journey is all about when it comes to women's health. When it comes to fibroids, when it comes to PCOS, when it comes to endometriosis. I talk about the fibroids. I refer to it more because that was the major gist of the problem that I had from the time that I was diagnosed back 21 past years ago. But I also had other complications. I had other difficulties. And the other difficulties entail endometriosis. I also had adenomyosis. And if you know about fibroids, you know that that's the non-cancerous tumors that grow inside of the uterus as well as on the outside of the uterus. But endometriosis pretty much has to do with the uterine wall that's basically totally out of balance. And when it comes to adenomyosis, the best way to explain to it is that the uterus is pretty much deformed. And when you get to that point, only thing they want to do is tell you to get a hysterectomy, And that is what I fought on my journey the whole entire time. Lo and behold, I'm glad that I didn't go the route where I had to get a hysterectomy. I went the long route where I got the open myomectomy and took a long version of the route for me to heal. But the good thing about it is that I'm here to say, with all the issues that I had, fibroids, adenomyosis, endometriosis, heavy bleedings, anemia, discomforts, headaches, constipation, everything, I'm still here. And I'm still here holding complete. Okay, I'm still here to speak my story. I'm still here to tell you guys that there is hope. Now, what has refrained me a little bit is that, there are some people who have come into my life to cause disruption, to say that, oh, that's great that you talk about the fibroids, but we want to see improvement. You don't have any children, or, and it's like, well, okay, I don't have any children presently, but who's to say that I will not have any children? I'm saying all this for you guys to understand how, when you're going through issues as a woman, how the environment around you could be ruthless, how people, even your loved ones, could be extra rude to you out of nowhere and very nasty and unthoughtful without even realizing that they're actually hurting you. There are some people who will come and ask you questions regarding your personal without realizing that they are crossing the boundaries. Like, they're really crossing paths where they don't belong. And truthfully speaking, I had to get to a point to tell some people to mind their business. Mind their business, because what they're asking me was not only extra personal, but when you are a woman who goes through the path of having severe blockages like I had, you're having the fibroids, you're having endometriosis, you're having adenomyosis, you're having so many different issues, and you are sickly and you're trying to push through on an everyday basis. Like, those people with those questions, those comments, they become a threat to you at 100%, because you being in the state that you are with all those issues, trying to combat and survive life, basically you are vulnerable. And when you are vulnerable and having people come at you, so to speak, on attack, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts to the point where you kind of like get into freeze mode, because that's what used to happen to me. I used to be in a freeze mode because I don't even know what to say, how to come back and really reply back. And it would take me a bit, because it always took me a while to configure things within me, within my brain, because of my condition, And I'm sharing this so that I could give you guys that are suffering the hope, the courage, the inspiration for you to face your issues, for you to face the nasty comments that people may give you. I have people who have become overly envious of me because of my platform that I created simply to give thanks to my journey. This platform that we're on, Faces of Uterine Fibroid, was created simply to give thanks for my journey and that I reach an opening. But some people have gotten envious because of that. And the sad part about it is they don't realize there was a cost to everything that I've gone through. There is a cost to everything that people go through in this life, in this world. Okay, I went through 21 years of fibroids. That's 21 years of tumors. That's 21 years of pain. That's 21 years of agony. That's 21 years of confusion. That's throughout the 21 years, all those bad relationships, all those bad connections, all those misunderstandings, all of the malaise and everything that I went through for 21 years. And for somebody to be envious of my journey in terms of me having a platform where people are receiving the information that I'm delivering, I just do not understand the correlation, because I've gone through pain and agony to get there. I suffered, I've gone through several different doctors who did not want to deliver me and understand my journey. I've gone through several different doctors who basically said to me that the only hope you have is hysterectomy, and I refused it. And that's why I'm here today. How many doctors did I see before I got to that one doctor who was willing to deliver me the correct way? It's a scary, scary situation. And I just do not understand till today why there are some people who basically would rather see me broken than happy. But the other thing about it is this, okay? On a self-love journey, I came to realize that that's just the way it all comes about, People see you operating, they don't know what your sufferings are. They don't know what you had, the cost that you had to, that you went through and how you got to the payoff. They have no idea, but they just see the glory part. And the glory is, when they see you doing your speak outs, they see you doing your interviews, they see that you're an author, they see that people are interviewing you, they see people are coming at you and all these other things, you're getting all the attraction, and that's what is the highlight of the day for them. I want to share one thing with you guys. For me and my personality, okay, all of that attraction for me is just like, okay, since it comes with the territory, I have to go through it, then I do it. But truthfully speaking, on my personal life, that's not me. That's not me. I just happen to be a character that was created by God that is not supposed to be hidden, period. Because no matter what I do, I will be noticed. It will always be on a grand scale. Reason being, that's because that's how my God created me. Okay? And that's something that I had to level up with. That's something that I needed to understand. That is something that I had to accept. I just shine, period. And it's nothing to boast about for me. It's regular. It's an acceptance. It's part of my self-love journey, and it's part of something that I've realized for me. On my journey, I've met quite a few other personalities who shine just like me, and I'm overly grateful to have connected with them. And thank God I connected with them, because you know what? That has created balance in my life, to have people who have gone through their own personal issues, but then they're glorifying themselves by just expressing gratitude on a daily basis. Because that's really what it is, But in order for you to take it upon yourself to be able to express gratitude and affirm yourself on a daily basis, you have to love yourself. One thing I realized throughout my journey, by connecting with people and focusing on self-love, I came to realize how many people around me really did not love themselves. How many people around me really hated to see me prosper because they hated themselves. The truth is that they hated themselves. And the difference is between me and them is that I accepted myself for who I am, with my faults, with everything that I carry, including the fibroids, okay? And with that being said, that opened doors for me. That opened a whole lot of doors for me, And I'm sharing this so that you guys can understand these little hatred type of sayings and comments, and they come from family and friends. They come from the people who know you, okay? The people who know you very well. And the people who don't know you, I don't know what their personal problem is. But at the same time, like I said, a lot of people do not like to see other people shine. A lot of people do not like to see other people's light shine brighter than theirs. And that's the bottom line. And For me, I've never been that type of character. I've never been that type of person. As a matter of fact, I always look for people with a light so that I can be able to help them shine brighter. And that's always been my personality. That's always been my character, and it will not change. Okay? So, those of you who are suffering with fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, those of you who are suffering with mental health, because mental health is a major factor when it comes to fibroids. You know, you're suffering with a major anemia situation because it's all interrelated with fibroids. As I say in my book, Faces of Uterine Fibroids, fibroids is the root of all evil. Once you get it, a lot of other different issues start to trickle up as the journey worsens. And that's just the way it is. Okay? But the best thing for you to do for yourself is to accept your situation as it is, to pray and meditate on a daily basis, and to really envision yourself being cured in a world, like being healed. I don't want to say cure because it's not a disease, okay? So we're going to retract that. Let's not say cure. We're going to say being healed because it's a condition. Fibroids is a condition that women develop. It is not a disease, okay? Let's make that clear. So, yeah, the healing process with fibroids is, it could be a beautiful journey depending on how you take it, but it's very spiritually connected, you know. You have to dive into your inner self. You really have to help yourself release and open up all of the blockages that you have endured, you have faced, you have gone against. You know, you have to help remove those because those tumors or, you know, those conditions are all blockages. And they're all blockages based on fear. A lot of fear, a lot of confusion. Growing up, I was fearful of everything because of the way that I was raised, the way, you know, it was all about don't do this, don't do that, make sure you don't do this, make sure you don't do that, this should not happen, da da da. You know, it was a lot of fear instilled into me from a very, very young age. And I could understand where that's coming from on my mom's side because of the fact that my dad passed away when I was 3 months old. My mom became a single mom, you know, unexpectedly. My mother raised me with basically my dad's side of the family. We pretty much had to do so many different things to get to where we want to get to, you know. Life was not easy. There was a lot of readjustments, but at the same time, we can say that we made it. My mother made it, and we overcame a lot. But with that being said, you know, everybody goes through fears and confusion and mishaps in their lifetime. And when your parents are going through something, you end up going through it either directly or indirectly as well. When there's a state of confusion with your family, you know, you end up going through it. In my case, I'm the first grandchild on both sides, mom and dad. And I'm the first of my generation. So whatever it is that the older generation goes through, I'm the one who suffers the repercussions from it all the time. The good and the bad. Okay? I'm the one who receives it all the time. And that's what it's always been like for me. So with me sharing my position, if you guys hear this noise, it is strictly my heater. The radiator is working up. It's an old house. I'm in New York. It is cold outside. I just want to let y'all know because it's going to get louder and louder. And I'm not going to redo this tape. So I just want to make it clear with you guys. It is what it is. Okay. So with that being said, that I shared my position with you, I just want you guys to understand that there are certain things that happen in life. They all happen for a reason. They happen for a reason. They're part of your growth and expansion. They're part of basically your elevation, and they're part of your better understanding. We all go through things so that we can actually grow, you know, so we can actually grow and become the better version of ourselves. And that's all I've wanted to do. That's all I've done with myself. And that's all that I continue to do. But if you're going through any women related issues, any women's health issues, if you have fibroids, PCOS, if you have endometriosis, if you have adenomyosis, you name it, heavy bleedings, heavy menstruations, a severe anemia condition, constipation, ovarian cysts, cancer, blotting, whatever you name it, it is not the end of the world. It really isn't the end of the world. Take it upon yourself to focus. Take it upon yourself to be serious about who you are and what you want in your life, so that you could break down barriers if need be. Okay? Break down those barriers, because these conditions that we face as women in our womb, they're nothing but blockages. Blockages. And they're in our womb for a reason. Every time we suffer, every time we go through something, whether it's high or low, anything that has to deal with emotions, it's all of the feeling is in our womb. So you guys have to learn to protect yourselves. Protect your womb, protect your mind, protect your spirit, protect your energy. Within my fibroid journey, I've learned how to protect myself to the utmost. And that's a journey that I embarked on. That's part of spirituality that I was not aware of. I didn't know pretty much existed. I didn't know that I needed it, that it was ultimately necessary. I really did not know that it was a main factor of my life. And today I'm very happy to have adapted to that side of me, for me to heal, for me to become a better person, for me to have better understanding, for me to be connected to myself of who I am and who God created me to be, and for me to be able to serve all of my ancestors. So on that note, I want to finish up by leaving you with the book Faces of Uterine Fibroids. This is the masterpiece, the award-winning masterpiece that is. You can pick it up. I'm going to have the link in the description box for you all to pick it up and read upon it. Please let me know of your condition, your women's health condition that you're battling, in the comments, whether it's PCOS, adenomyosis, ovarian cysts, or endometriosis, whatever women issue that you're going through. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're suffering from. And if you have any questions requesting about any different types of treatments that you're maybe trying to do research on, by all means, leave it in the comments. I want to hear from you, and I want to know exactly where you stand in your journey. And let me know about your self-love journey, where you are with that as well. Those of you who have gone through the process and are on a self-love journey and currently healing, let me know where you are on that journey as well. I definitely want to hear from each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for following Faces of Uterine Fibroids. So happy to have you on. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Press that notification bell, and for you to get the updates so you know when I'm posting, okay? So take care. Have a good one. See you on the next one.